This is a tutorial to show you how I apply the border onto the shawl for the Hyldebær Shawl pattern. I have my little teeny tiny shawl sample with popcorn on, and I have here a little tip that's supposed to represent chart A, just made in garter stitch for ease. It's just for demonstration. So when you have done chart A, or the written description for chart A, you will have the tip that looks something like this in shape, and you put half the stitches on some scrap yarn. In this case it's on a safety pin, and the other stitches are here ready to be worked. So they're on the right side and we work in pattern, so just follow whatever the pattern tells you to do, and you work all the way up until you have one stitch left. So what you want to do now is you want to apply this tip, you pull this up a bit, this little tip onto the already existing tip of the shawl, and then you want to work, so chart A, then you work chart B up the side. There's a chart C to create the same shape as the shawl has, chart D for the other side, and chart E for the last triangular bit. When you're working chart B, you're supposed to apply the border with a slip slip knit SSK. This is the center spine. You don't want to use that. If you have live stitches, it will be easier to see, but you starting from the next stitch, which would be this one. And as you can see, this is the outer leg of the stitch. If I only take this one here, you get a little bit of a hole when you pull it, and to avoid that I actually pick up also the little pearl bump on the back. So I will pick up these two stitches. You can pick up this one, but this will avoid the little hole. Okay, but first I am supposed to slip as if to knit. I can put this needle away. Slip as if to knit, boom. And then you just wrap your yarn around and pull through. By taking only the outer leg, I create this little braid effect on top of the shawl. You can do it in many different ways, but this way has a little bit of a decorative edge that I like, so this is why I chose to do it like this. Now you only apply on the right side, so for the wrong side you turn the work and you follow the pattern back. And in this case I'm just gonna keep doing my garter, so just read what the pattern instructions say, not what I'm doing. This is only to demonstrate how I apply the border. Okay, so we work back on the wrong side and turn again. So there's a lot of turning. Of course this is very tiny, but still, even with the big shawl you will work back and forth. So now we work the right side until there's one stitch left. If you work the from live stitches, if you have not bound off your shawl, it will look a little bit different, but it's totally possible to do. It just creates a little bit different edge. So again, slip as if to knit. Here is the outer leg, but you want to pick up the outer leg and the little bump underneath. Let me see if I can do this. There. Okay, so you have two instead of one, and then you just pull it through, and be sure that it's nice and tight. So now you can see you have applied the two first stitches. Of course these are in contrasting colors just to make it easier to see, but when you're working your own, it will look in the same color, it will look different. So I'm sorry if you can hear any background noise, but my partner is working outside. So okay, let me turn it back around, and I will do one last row just to show how it looks once I have worked a few stitches. So we have one stitch left, slip as if to knit, pick up the outer leg and the stitch underneath, pull through, and there we go. I hope that is easy to follow, and I will come and show you the other side of the work. Okay, now I'm back. Sorry for all the messy ends, but of course you would normally finish up one side before you would move on to the other side. I just switched these stitches onto the safety pin, and I have the other stitches now on the wrong side. Sorry, on the left side. So you just work the first row here. Now you are changing from applying on the right side to applying on the wrong side. You always want to apply at the end of the work, and that means you have to apply on the wrong side. So I just worked a right side row, and now I turn it around. Oops. And work the wrong side. And when I get to the last stitch, I will show you how we are applying. On the left side of the shawl, we are applying with a knit two together. Okay, so we have the last stitch left, and you want to do knit two together. So to do that, you want to go in and pick up the outer leg plus the little back bump as we did before, just to give it more stability. Pick up the stitch we had before, and work these two together. Now it looks very messy because I had cut my end here, but I will show it a couple of times. And you turn your work like so, and you work back. And when we come back again, I will try to show you a little more slowly, so it's easier to see.
So you work again, work the wrong side. Okay, we have
one stitch left. We just pull the end a little bit. Okay, one stitch left. So when you do knit, you go into the second stitch, the first stitch, and you knit them together. It's not cooperating. There we go. Turn it around, and you will see again that we are applying onto the edge here. So you'll have this line running around, and in the middle there will be a hole. It's supposed to be there. We will close up with this end, that where we started. We will use that to close up the hole afterwards. Just gonna show it one last time. We are back to having one stitch, so we pick up the next one here, the next two ones, and this one, and then we knit them together. And it is not so easy to show with a camera in front of me, so I'm sorry if this is not the best, but this is what I can do to show you. So hopefully this gave you an idea how you're applying the border on both sides. It was not so easy to show with the camera in front of me, and also these two yarns behave a little bit differently, but I will show you how the shawl, how it looks on the sample. So here we have the Hyldebær Shawl, and if you can see, let me pull it down. So this is the center, and this is where I applied the border all the way up on the right side and all the way up on the left side. And you see it just creates this little line when you are picking up outer leg and the extra stitch. So there's a little line that is the other leg of the stitch that is lying on top of the work. If you don't like that, you could of course remove that. And on the back, let me see if I can show you a little bit. So it just, yeah, it's really pretty much invisible where it was. So I hope it gave you an idea of how to do it. If you prefer a different way, you can just use another tutorial. There are many of them, and it will probably look a little bit different. And if you have live stitches again, it probably also looks a bit different. Yep. Bye.